Hey everyone, it's Peppy from Room A7. So this is probably the first time you're seeing me live on this channel. So let's actually get started. Here I am in the Queen Victoria building, and it is a beautiful, beautiful building here in the middle of Sydney. So let's take a look. So we just left Penultimate, and this here is Tess, and she's coming with me down to the Leica store so we can get some things for my camera because it's been playing up, and just something to introduce as well.
Peter Rabbit thingy. What is it? Beatrix Potter or something?
Oh, Beatrix Potter.
Yeah.
Is that something you're into?
I love him.
Why is that?
I don't know. I used to watch it with my grandma.
I used to have a Beatrix Potter book, but I drew all over it and I got punished by my parents. Probably be nice to get one of them. Okay.
Thank you very much.
So, where's this Leica store? Oh, here it is. Sorry, we'll walk past it.
After a day of exploring the Queen Victoria building, I noticed how much of our Australian culture has cemented our British legacy into so much of our lives, from our music to the way we design our stores to what we maintain and restore from our colonial period. Even our modern stores embrace a strongly idealist Western lifestyle that is both rooted in European and American culture.
So, I'm now here in Queanbeyan on Australia Day, and if you don't know where Queanbeyan is, it's about 300 kilometres from Sydney and a couple of dozen kilometres from Canberra. And I'm here really early in the morning. They're actually setting up the Australia Day ceremonies at the podium behind me. Just near the park oval. But the one thing that I just wanted to kind of point out is it's only in the last few years that the idea of changing the date of Australia Day has taken up steam, and I've always wondered why. And I think I know why. The idea that now is probably the best time to start talking about the problems that happened in history that were not addressed until, well, now. And I think it has to do with the internet, and I think it has to do with revisionist history, the ability to actually look at the evidence again and make new determinations, finding new evidence, and more often than not, actually clearing up the falsehoods that in the past people have mistook for history.
Ice cream truck?
No.
Coffee truck?
No.
I feel somewhat privileged to be working here in Queanbeyan as a high school teacher because growing up, especially in high school, I was never exposed to, well, almost anyone who was Indigenous or Aboriginal. One of the things that I never understood was the Aboriginal history and what it meant for today. I actually know more about Native American history because of films and movies, but it's only recently we've actually made some decent movies about Aboriginal history, and even then it's a little bit thin. When the settlers first arrived here in Australia, We were taught in high school that it was pretty peaceful and there was some scuffles here and there, but it was pretty much very violent. The history that a lot of us don't get told is that we were definitely conquering and invading and killing Aboriginal people on purpose, not by accident. It's very rare that this kind of stuff is done by accident. Looking back at colonial history, you'll find that almost all the decisions made by anyone that was invading another country, a lot of the decisions made were very calculated, premeditated. They knew what they were doing. Australia is no exception. It seems like as if the Queen is following me around. Well, this is Queen Elizabeth. The other Queen in Sydney is Queen Victoria. I guess what saddens me the most is that on a day like this, people are happy to ignore the massacres. People are happy to just gloss over the history that makes us uncomfortable, and we talk about how we gave back the land for native title, Mabo, and all those other things that we should all be proud of. But people talk about changing the date, and as an immigrant, I wonder, is that something that we should be talking about? As an immigrant, to me, I think I don't have much of a say, but as an Australian citizen, it's important to me. This is my country. This is where I live, this is where I work, this is where I grew up. This is my identity. But for others, this is not their identity. And understanding why Australia Day is held on the day like this, and why people want to keep it this way, well, there's a few things we need to figure out first.
It has taken me 32 years to realize that what I was taught in primary school, in high school, in university, and in everyday life, that everything I was taught about Aboriginal Australia has been watered down. I never knew how violent the First Fleet landing was, or how genocide underpinned the notion of terra nullius, and most of all, I never knew just how many of us, in my own country, just don't care. I'm Sir Peppy, and this is Room A7.